Hello everybody, it is the Amazing Gaming Guy here, and welcome back to Planet Coaster. Now, I thought that I would jump back into the park that I showed you last week and have a go at building the rest of this big mine train coaster that you can see around the side here. And I've decided what I want the theme for this to be. This is going to be an Alpine adventure coaster. So think what's the big one in Disneyland or Disney World? The one with the Yeti. I don't remember its name. There's a big coaster in Disney World with a Yeti, and that's sort of a Himalayan adventure coaster. So Expedition Everest, that's what it's called. It's called Expedition Everest. I'm going to be doing my own version of Expedition Everest right here. But this is Alps themed, so it's a little bit different. So I'm not copying you, Disney, so please don't sue me. Thank you very much. So I thought I'd start off by going to this big sort of near vertical lift hill. That's sort of maybe a 45 degree, beyond 45 degree. It's quite a steep hill anyway, and it's going up the side of the mountain that I've built. And I wanted to like enclose the track in a big long sort of ski hut, like a big long sort of chalet hut sort of thing. So I did this by taking some sort of wooden plank pieces and putting them on the sides and on the bottom, and then by getting some more wood plank pieces and slanting them and putting them on the roof to create a peaked roof. And then I went along as you can see now, and just created a little top piece as well. And then I like this bit actually. I put these storm lanterns on the side, and rather than tilting them to be at the right angle for the rising track, I actually made sure that they were still vertical, so that they would hang as gravity would, want them to. So it sort of made sense in terms of physical terms. And I think it also looks quite cool because when you're going up this little chain lift, you sort of lose sight of the fact that you're going up at an angle when you're inside the tunnel, and that sort of maintains some sort of grasp on what way or what direction is actually down, and it makes you feel a bit weird. I reckon if you were doing that in real life, it would feel a bit strange having these sort of lights that sort of, they're going vertically down, but everything else, it's difficult. It's a strange idea of perspective in there. So anyway, I tried to make this simpler for myself by using blueprints, copying that first bit, and then using the blueprints to copy it across to make the whole length of it. And it didn't work. I don't know what it was. It collided with the track or something. I'm not sure. So I had to go along and do it by hand. So I went along and I made the sides of it by hand, and then I did manage to blueprint the actual roof on the top. And then I started to copy that across as well, and it was so difficult working with these angles because what I really wanted to do was like tilt the camera so that the bottom of the sloped area going up was down rather than sort of to the left, like at an angle. And if I could have done that, this would have been so much easier, but I couldn't, and it was so difficult to get my head around it. And unfortunately, that does mean that I've not quite connected all the pieces properly in some places, and there's a few, you can see a little bit there, there's a few gaps and stuff in the roof, and I'm a bit annoyed about that, but you don't really notice it when you're actually on the ride. So I thought, you know what, that's that's fine by me. I'm happy with it. Let's just stick with that. So then I went along and I finished off the floor by connecting the two pieces there and put some lights in through there. And I actually discovered, just before that bit, I discovered how to do the free look camera, and that was really helpful. So then I went along and put these sort of bunting pieces across, and that was just another idea taken from the Expedition Everest coaster, because it had all those sorts of, I've never ridden it myself, but I've seen videos. It's got all these sorts of flags and bunting and things, because it is you know, it's themed around Everest, and that's the sort of thing that you've got a base camp and along the trail at Everest. And I thought I would copy that in a sense. And it also means that it's got a connection to the valley below where the fantasy party scene is going on. So it just sort of brings them all together a little bit. And then I created a sign at the top and used these they're sort of hooks, I guess, just to add a little bit of extra detail. And then I created a big red X on the sign by colouring 2 wooden planks and putting them into an X symbol, just to, you know, give it a little bit more drama, just make it more like, yeah, you really shouldn't be going up these tracks, and make it look like a dangerous mine train where the tracks aren't quite complete, or the track's not stable or something, just to make it even more exciting. And then I put these Alpine boulders along the bottom just to add some more detail to the track going up. And they do look a little bit repetitive, and I will do something about that at some point, but I just wanted to quickly get them in to get an idea of what it should look like. And then I went along and I put some sort of alpine trees and things around as well, just to sort of seal the idea that, you know, this is a mountain rising up out of an alpine forest, and then you retreat back into the valley when you go down on the mine train. Now in this little sort of depression here, I wanted to put another little hut, a smaller hut that you would sort of swoop through when you come down from the mountain. I think the sort of theme here is like it's sort of it is a mine, but it's like I don't know, if you could think of any way to link the themes of Alpine Adventure and Mine Train, then go ahead. Actually, maybe it's not a mine train, it's just a regular train, because I think you do get like trains and stuff going through the Alps, like I mean, there wouldn't be steam trains anymore, but I think that's a thing. I really do think that's a thing. So this is what that is. I will get a better idea of what that's meant to be in a bit. So yeah, I used some sort of stair pieces for the roof, and then came along with more bunting and flags just to give it a little bit more colour. And then I set it to nighttime and put some lights in here, and I quite like these little storm lamps, and I sort of inset them into the roof so it looks like they're hanging from the roof, from something on the roof. And I did the same sort of thing up here, and then I put down this spotlight, and what I really wanted to do was set up some trigger events on the ride, which you can do now in the beta. I wanted to set up some trigger events so that when it's going up, this light sort of turns on and off and flashes on the red X, so it's this, you see sort of glimpses of this X, rather than seeing it for real. I thought that would make it a lot more dramatic. Then I finished off this area at the top by putting in some more big alpine boulders. Again, I need to go back and add a little bit more detail to this, because it's looking a little bit repetitive and blank, and I'm going to put some more buildings and things at the top here just to give it more detail, I guess. It looks a little bit blank at the top, I do recognise that. And I added some more bunting to this sign. Again, just a little bit more colour. I felt like it needed it. I felt like it needed a bit more colour. And then I went around and put some dry ice effects, both on the top here and then down into the little tunnel at the bottom, and carried on by putting some more alpine boulders down the trail, leading down into the little hut at the bottom here. And I really quite like these alpine boulders, actually. They're different colour to what was available in the alpha. There was just the black boulders, I think, in the alpha, and they added a load more in the beta, and I really like them. They're really good tools to use. So then I went around and I tried to chisel out some of these rock faces around here, because they were way too rounded and perfect and shirey. They needed to be a lot more steep and irregular. So I went around with some I don't know what the tools were. I think it was the flatten to surface tool, and also the dig tool. Okay, and in this little tunnel that we got here, I put some sort of pointed lanterns down into the space, down onto the track, so when it's nighttime you go through the lantern light. And then I went around with some wood and tried to make some sort of a rough sort of structure to the walls to make it look like this it's being held up by some sort of man-made material, so that it looks like it's been dug out by people. And then I actually came back to the sort of chalet hut thing. I don't think chalet is the right word for it. It's sort of a hut. And I added some more detail with wooden planks along the sides because it looked a little bit blank, and I definitely wanted to add a little bit more detail just to make it really sort of pop, really stand out and look good, because I don't think I add nearly enough detail in this game. It's quite a contrast to how I build in Minecraft. In Minecraft, I think I at times probably put too much detail in because it takes me a really long time to build some things, and in Planet Coaster I need to work on the detail. I think it's just having a knowledge of the pieces. I think I just need to play more so I know what pieces work and what look good. Yeah, and I will be playing a lot more of this game, so hopefully I will get that right in the future. This is cool. I put this chimney on the top of the hut because I wanted it to be so that when the train goes through the hut, there's a trigger that makes smoke come out of this chimney, because obviously there's the steam train would have smoke coming out of it. So I thought maybe this hut would have like a ventilation thing to stop the steam building up inside the tunnel. So I don't know if that's a real thing, but I thought it looked cool, so I did that. And then I came back and put a little bit more work on that tunnel, and this is something that took a little bit of time. I went and put some wooden planks around the top sort of arc of this side of the coaster, and this is all that I've managed to capture so far, so I hope that you've enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a like, comment and subscribe for more. I'll be finishing this ride very soon, and I think the actual game is released today, the day that I'm recording this, and hopefully the day that I'm releasing this, so go out and get it if you haven't got it yet. I'm going to be doing a load more videos on it. Yeah. That's all. I thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.